that you confer the degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer upon Clint Malarchuk the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa.
Well, I'm a little emotional. I hate it when they played the national anthem. I always had a terrible game, so. Maybe I should have finished high school too before I got this kind of set up, but I actually did finish. But Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, honored platform guests, members of the Board of Governors, members of the Academic Senate, faculty, staff, students, most of all graduates, and all family, friends, and special guests. As a former NHL hockey player and coach, I've had my share of victories. I've had even a few awards, but I've never been bestowed this sort of an honor. It is a true honor for me to be up here right now and saying what a few words I can get out. But nothing that I ever accomplished in hockey can compare to today. As a mental health advocate, I've come to know a lot of people that suffer, and there's a lot. Professionals, students. As students, especially the anxiety and the distress that we go through as students, it's tough. There's a huge dropout rate because of anxiety disorder. For you that are here graduating, I'm sure you've had your stressful days and beyond some days. You're not alone. No one is. If you need to talk to somebody, you can talk. Writing my book was my greatest achievement, I think, because it made me realize that I wasn't alone. I was very honest, and I'm glad I did finish the book, because I tried to quit several times, and I always went back to it, and I'm grateful that I did, because it makes me realize how many people are out there that are suffering, and we're not alone. You'd be surprised how many people have reached out to me that are currently in major sports, NHL, in fact. They're not alone. And they reached out to thank me, because for the first time in their life, they felt like somebody related, and there's a lot of us out there. There's no shame. The giving of advice can never take the place of giving of self. And basically, my wife and I, that's what we try to do. We public speak together, we tour around, book tours, things like that, but basically we share our story and give of ourselves. One thing I'd like to say to the graduating class, a little formula that I use is called ACE, A-C-E. And I use it to solve my problems, whether they're relationship problems, co-work, whatever it might be, business. A is for accepted, true acceptance. Like I had to accept my PTSD and my mental illness to get well. I had to accept it. So the C is for change it. And sometimes that's hard, or to eliminate it. And sometimes those are hard, but if you have a problem and you want to solve it, usually one of those three things will work. I use it every day. As a suicide survivor, I've learned to embrace my mental illness. I'm so grateful that I survived, first of all. And I haven't met a suicide survivor yet that isn't totally grateful that they did not succeed. So for me, it is a calling to help others. I feel like God spared me so that I I can be here for others now. I thought my purpose in life was to be an NHL hockey player and then an NHL coach. I really believed that that was my purpose. But I always had so I had some success getting there and staying there for a while, but I also had this other line that followed me of demons and depression, anxiety, obsessive compulsive disorder, and eventually self-medicating with alcohol. I realized that those two lines were like that. I used to question God, why me? Why me? Take this away. I can't live. I played in the NHL. I should have had the world by the tail, yet I was living in depression and fear and anxiety. Now I know why, because I conquered it and I got well. But my purpose wasn't the NHL. It's to be where I am today, helping others. The two most important days in your life, the day you were born and the day you figure out why you're born. Today I know both. Excuse me, I'm getting emotional again. Dr. Cook, thank you for nominating me. You've turned into a friend, a guy that I'm really proud to know. People fear the things they don't understand, and sometimes they discriminate against it. I think my wife and I are trying to get rid of that discrimination so that people can get help and feel no shame in getting help. People forget a lot of what you say. What they do remember is how you made them feel. I hope I've given you a little feeling of inspiration if you struggle. I hope I've given you the courage to get help and reach out, because you are not alone. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Malarchuk, for sharing those powerful words with us.